No, not that we think of, or I'm aware of anyway.
Is Vinny going to go on injured reserve? Or is he going to be able to stick on the roster?
It looks like he's going to be an IR candidate for the first 4 weeks.
You have a young running back room. The oldest running back is 24 currently right now. Just how confident do you feel in that about that group?
We feel really good about it. Like I said, we've got a young roster. It's not the only young group. Our receivers are young. Our DBs are young. But we're really excited about the talent we have in that group, and now it's just a matter of developing them and getting them to a point where they become the staples in terms of playmaking ability and all that. So love the group, love their mindset, and love the different characteristics that each of them bring.
What gives you the confidence in this group in particular?
They're young, they're fresh, they play hard, they're smart, they're dynamic. You know, Michael Carter, they're all versatile with regards to 3-down capability. Michael's got a different running style than Brees, who has a different running style than TJ, who has a different running style than Bam. So they're not four of the same. They're four very different backs, and you just trust that their mindset and just being with them every day, they're going to be able to get it done.
Max is your only backup offensive tackle right now. What has he shown you to earn that role?
Just throughout camp, you know, with all the different things that we've had with the limitations of George and getting Dwayne late and backed in early on, he's gotten a ton of reps and at both right and left, and he's done very well. He's improved every day. There's no doubt that as the season goes, he's another one that I'm very confident that he's going to be a very good football player in this league. Just needs a little bit more time, and I think the more time he gets, the better he'll get.
With Vinny, if he lands on the injured reserve, is the corresponding move bringing somebody from the practice squad up? I'm assuming, like, have you guys already identified who you want to bring?
Those are discussions that we're still going through.
Now that the dust is pretty much settled on the roster, how would you assess your team?
Same way I would have assessed it at the beginning. I'm very excited about this roster and its potential with regards to, it's a team that's being built. Different than what I feel this organization has had in the past, and not to speak poorly on anything that's been done in the past, but this is a built organization, or built roster, not bought. And because of it, I just feel like there's a chance for this team to really grow together and last for a long time. But a lot of exciting players, a lot of potential to have some game changers. It's just going to come down to coaches developing them in the way that allows them to play to their capabilities.
With that, Robert, do you feel pressure to win this year? I'm not talking Super Bowl, but to start winning games and not kind of keep pushing it towards the future?
No, there's always pressure. You're always trying. It doesn't matter what your roster is. There is pressure to win, as I've learned, especially in this market. But you never. We all know the goal is to win football games. Period. That's why we play. That's why we coach. That's why we do the things we do. But you still go with that same mindset to approach every day to be your absolute best, find ways to get better, and if the result happens to be a W, that's freaking awesome. Otherwise, you just keep the main thing, and that's find ways to get better.
With this team, is it possible to have a quote-unquote successful season if you guys aren't in the playoffs?
I don't know about that one. I don't want to throw a headline out there, but it's, like I said, goals are to win Super Bowls. Goals are to go to the playoffs, win football games, all those different things. What I'll tell you is the defining this roster is not about results. I think when you see the character, the style of play, what we put on tape, define the team for that. And I think, and I trust that the results were going to be what we like. But I never get caught up in the wins and losses and expectations and adding to to setting goals that you have zero control over. We got a really good roster of guys who are internally driven, and I feel like this team's going to continually get better as the year goes on.
When you talk about building that roster, how much further along do you feel like you are now versus heading into last season?
It's a lot further. We're a year older. Coaches are a year older. I'm a year older. We've added to the depth of the roster, as everyone's seen. It's to have, really, if you think about it, from the 90, 12 guys have been claimed from the 90, not just today, the 7 of them. So we feel like we've had a lot of young guys that we developed last year. A lot of those guys got a lot of minutes last year and a lot of plays. And so there's a, and I think it's recognized, obviously, throughout the league. So you're very comfortable about the depth of the roster and the players that we can line up against anybody. What's going to be fun to watch with this group is who takes the bull by the horns in the fourth quarter and becomes that dude that you're as you see every week, where there's 5 guys on every team that just take the fourth quarter over, and we've got potential for a bunch of guys on this roster, and it's going to be really, really fun to see which one kind of rises to the top.
How do you feel about where you're at after you've had a year under your belt now, first as a head coach? How do you feel about where you're at right now?
It's more manageable. It's not any easier, but at the same time, it's the curveballs are slowing down a little bit, if you will. But you expect them more. You're never comfortable, which is a good thing. And you're always trying to get better and try to evolve. But I don't want to say it's easier. It's just a little bit more. I'm not as surprised.
You did say last year, I think on multiple occasions, that this team is going to win championships, I think plural.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, we haven't heard that in a while, I'm wondering how.
I still believe we're going to win championships here. I think when you look at Joe and his staff and the way he communicates with us as a coaching staff, our process is too good. I think the players that we've brought in are made of the right stuff, and the way this organization communicates, the way Woody and Christopher just give us whatever we need with regards to player acquisitions and being in this building and their support. It's too good not for this not to work. And just really excited again to just continue to build this roster and develop these young men and live up to the promise that we made when we first got here.
You guys have obviously improved the talent level, but from your standpoint, how do you take the next step of kind of teaching these guys how to win games?
That's going to be everything. There's going to be a lot of fourth quarters. There's going to be, one-score games in the fourth quarter and that grind and learning off of those and finding that 60% that we talk about. And it's going to be a lot of reps, a lot of experiences, a lot of things that a lot of these guys have never been in. Where you're in the fourth quarter, you're up 1, you got to hold the lead, or you're up a score and you got to hold the lead, or you're down a score, you're up 2 scores, down 2, whatever it is, just to continue to fight and find ways to grind in that fourth quarter. How do we start faster, which was an issue a year ago? How do we finish faster? So there's just a lot of different things that this team is going to have an opportunity to get better at from a year ago and continue to grow on. So you rep it on the practice field, you get the opportunities in the game, you talk about it, you just relive it over and over and over again, and you just trust that the makeup of this roster is going to continue to get better.
A couple more. When you were in San Francisco, you had a similar quick turnaround, or built, but then it went from kind of team that was really struggling to one that seemed to turn that corner quick. Can you draw or see any similarities between that San Francisco unit that made the jump and the team you have right now?
Yeah, in 17, again, Kyle and John, 2 models when it comes to how you want to run an organization. We're very fortunate to have been a part of it. But in 17, you kind of took over a roster that had been beat up for a little bit, and we got through that. 18 felt like we had a really cool roster, and there was a lot of moments in those fourth quarters where it was just slipping away from us. Obviously, Jimmy got hurt, which was a big part of the lack of wins that year, and then that third year, all those young guys, Kittle, Fred Warner, Buckner, Armstead, they just we drafted both, so everything came to fruition. Jimmy Ward, and then on the offensive side, a lot of those young guys turned into what they turned into. So, it's to draw similarities. I don't want to compare anything to that group. I do think that we have a really cool group of guys, and just like those Niners teams, you're gonna see some guys come to fruition and come to light. We're like, holy cow, that dude's a playmaker. He's a game changer. And it's going to be really fun to see which one that is out of this group, because I know they're here. It's just going to be fun to see which one it is.
Robert, one guy kept on the roster we didn't ask about yesterday, Ashton. I think some of us were surprised, some fans were surprised. What did you guys see that made you want to keep him?
First off, character. He's made of everything that you want. He comes every day. He prepares every day. His first season was a little bit derailed. Last year, I think people forget, he missed all of OTAs and a good portion of training camp. Still comes in and, he gets the ball a few times, has some production, obviously has some situations or some plays that I'm sure he wishes he had back, but just his overall body of work felt like he got better throughout training camp, OTAs, really vital part of special teams also, and but his overall body of work, he's still getting better. But really excited to have him back and what he brings, not only off the field, but on the field, and especially with regards to special teams.
No update on Zach?
No update on Zach.
So Strubler starts week 1?
Got him back in the building, really happy. It was getting him back in the building and the way he kind of pounced in that quarterback room with excitement, so really excited to get him back.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm sorry. What did I do?